Lee Moore is a former barrister, a writer and businesswoman. She found out about cybercrime the hard way. It destroyed her business and very nearly her life.
I engaged the services of a web designer on the recommendation of a friend, so I didn't do any due diligence. I liked the website he designed, and he played the long game. And we became very friendly, and he was very knowledgeable in matters IT, and I was happy to confess my ignorance, that I wasn't interested in IT matters and matters cyber. And so he very kindly, what I thought, offered to take that off my hands. So he purchased my domain names, he set up my personal and corporate emails on his servers, and he set up my social media accounts. And he did very well. I had no complaint about the services at all. He set up my Twitter account, and he said that I needed a new website as the website he designed was vulnerable to hacking. He said that if I didn't have a new website, that my website was so vulnerable that it could contaminate and pull down the other websites on his servers. That frightened me. My husband, unfortunately, had just died, and so I just said yes. Tiredness and grief sort of overcame the ability to think quickly. I knew he had all my passwords, but I didn't know what he could do. And so I found myself locked out of my personal website, my corporate website. I couldn't access my personal emails or my corporate emails, and he also seized control of my social media accounts.
So what happened then, and what was the effect on your business?
I couldn't trade. I was absolutely devastated. On my home pages, he just put one page up saying I was a persistent debtor and an active debtor, and that I was a high-risk person to do business with. He then, I had photographs on the internet, and he put his logo between my photographs on the internet, and anybody that clicked on that would be taken again to another defamatory web page about me. And I had clients ringing me up saying, did I owe money? It was absolutely frightening, the fact he could email clients on my behalf and potentially post messages on Facebook, which in fact is what he did. He actually hacked into my Twitter account and posted offensive messages to him, purportedly from me, so I was impersonated.
So what happened to the business?
I lost the business completely. I tried setting up another business using the same brand, but unfortunately he came after that too, and I made 2 further attempts to set up business, and he came after those, saying me and those companies were also persistent and active debtors, and I was not to do, that nobody was to do business with me, which is quite devastating.
Now she's telling her story in the hope it will prevent other businesses from falling into the same trap.
Well, I work for the Federation of Small Businesses, so I talk to small businesses all the time, and I know this is something that's beginning to worry them a lot. So I was surprised at the scale of it, though. I think even though we all think we know about it, when you actually hear the true stories of people with relatively small businesses being attacked by this, it's something we've all got to sit up and take notice of.
Something a colleague of mine often says is we've sleepwalked into a dependency on cyber, on communications, on the internet. We've absolutely sleepwalked into it. I mean, who do you know who doesn't have a smartphone? Who do you know who doesn't bank? All of our money is now in ones and zeros. It's not physical cash anymore, is it?
At the Gloucestershire Business Show, the county's first Safer Cyber Forum was officially unveiled. The county is one of the few areas in the country where cybercrime is recognised as a priority.
The Safer Cyber Forum is the first online collaboration in the UK between police and local business, allowing communication around cyber security issues. There's advice on there, multimedia clips, the ability to communicate with each other and talk about problems, to get advice, frequently asked questions, but also to allow us to alert communities because cyber threats are relatively instantaneous. We will monitor how and where and what parts of the forum are used. We are working actively around changing parts of it if we need to, and we've had some fantastic feedback so far that this is a really engaging way for business to work with police.
I thought it was very interesting. I think this is an area that businesses don't always understand. They're a little bit scared of, and so any advice that businesses can get to learn how to fight this new battle has got to be worth taking.
What's happening is the larger organisations and even some of the middle range organisations are taking the precautions, which makes it more difficult for the hackers, so they go for the easier targets. And the hacks can be completely random, and generally are completely random.
Yes, they're becoming aware of it, doing something about it. That's the problem at the moment.
It's estimated there are now 1,000 cyber attacks every hour in the UK, and that small businesses are the most vulnerable. The question therefore for companies like these exhibiting here today is not if a cyber attack is likely, but when.
Hello, I'm Martin Surl, the Police and Crime Commissioner for Gloucestershire.
And that's why the Police and Crime Commissioner put up council tax in 2014, to raise money to fund improvements in the police capability for tackling cybercrime.
The threat to business is very, very serious, and they need to take it very seriously. The threat is real, it's present, and it can be prevented. So I want to raise this as a priority. I made it a priority for policing in Gloucestershire, and I'm very impressed in what they've done. But we've got to keep going. This is only the beginning of the race against the cyber attackers, the cyber criminals, the cyber bulliers. And yes, it was a small increase in the council tax, but it will pay dividends. I'm quite confident in that, and I make no apology for doing it.
There's no doubt the threat is real. The hope is that raising awareness will lead to a more effective response.